In Dixie, we want you to visit one of the most outstanding colleges, Morehouse College. It is a typical day here at Morehouse. Some of the students are walking up and down the campus. Others are making preparation for final examinations and graduation. We now go up to a room where we find two boys who have spent the last 2 years together. They are talking.
Today I'm supposed to speak in class. Will you listen as I practice? This speech means everything to me. My success in future years may well depend on how I deliver this speech.
Now listen, King. I will have to hear you in class. And it seems to me that's enough. For the past 2 years, you've been studying, speaking. I'm tired of being a guinea pig for you in the speech department. What are you trying to do anyway? I know. You're going to change the world with your philosophy. And even more ridiculous, you're going to become a preacher.
I don't mind your teasing. Oh, will you please listen to my speech?
All right. You are a funny guy. I tease you all the time. But do you fight back? No, you just stand up and smile. Way down, deep inside, I feel the shame because I tease you. But I still don't want to hear you speak.
All right, then, I won't say my speech. John, do you think this nation will ever have a new birth of freedom?
No, I do not. Do you?
Yes, I believe it will. This is a great nation, and it will become even greater when it has that new birth of freedom. That one Abraham Lincoln spoke of when he said, "This nation will have a new birth of freedom under God."
It might happen, King, but not in our lifetime. Our great-grandchildren might live to see it.
You know, I believe it will happen in our lifetime, because freedom-loving people will make it happen.
All right, King, it will happen. Until it happens, I will finish my work.
John, what do you plan to do when you finish college?
To teach like my father and mother. What are you going to do?
I don't know. I haven't decided.
Well, while you're deciding, I will go out on the campus. You have fun with your speech and all of your books. I have fun in the fresh air. See you Glee Club practice this evening.
John, please don't go. I want to talk to you.
All right.
Thank you for staying, John. I might as well put this speech up because I have a decision to make, and I must make it today. I keep remembering Dr. May's words. He came here yesterday because he was concerned about me. He told me he knew something was wrong and that it was his job to help students find themselves and to help them develop. I told him I was just in a dilemma trying to make a decision about my future. He looked so understanding. I felt free to talk to him. I told him I wanted to be a preacher more than anything in the world, but I was afraid. He asked me what I was afraid of. I told him I was afraid of the people and what they might say. You see, my father's a preacher, and I know some of the problems that he has to face. He then asked me what kind of a preacher I wanted to be. I told him I wanted to be a preacher concerned about the social problems of his people as well as the spiritual problems. He then asked me how long I had felt this way. I told him I had felt this way ever since I was a child, but I hated to admit it, even to myself, because I was afraid, and I'm still afraid of the people and what they might say.
What did he say then?
He told me to hear an elder and to remember these words. God still lives. He is the same today, yesterday, and forever. And as I was with Moses, so I be with you. After he was finished, I was so overcome with emotions. I said, Dr. Mays, I love your sermons and the example that you set for the students here at Morehouse. If I could only become a preacher like you, I wouldn't mind. He then smiled and said, you'll become a much better preacher than I'll ever be. He then said, shall we pray? Then placing his hand on my shoulder, he said, Dear God, take this thou servant into thine hands, and may thou take him and use him for the furtherance of thy kingdom, and may the world be a better place because he hath lived. He then looked straight at me and said, King, the final decision rests with you. John, I have made my decision. I'll become a preacher.
So King made the decision and answered the call to service. He graduated from Morehouse College after being convinced there was a place in religion for light as well as heat. In 1947, young King was ordained as a minister at his father's church in Atlanta, Georgia. Further preparation for his life's work was made at Crozer Seminary, the University of Pennsylvania, and Boston University. At Boston University, he meets and falls madly in love with the beautiful and talented Coretta Scott.
Coretta, this is a great book. The name of it is The Social Principles of Jesus. It has opened a window of understanding for me. Out of this book and the Bible grows my whole philosophy. That God is supremely personal, and that man is profoundly personal, and is to be treated as an end and not as a means. Coretta, what are your future plans?
I plan to continue studying voice at the New England Conservatory of Music. And then I will probably do some concert work here in America. And on to Europe, I suppose.
Coretta, in planning your future, do you see any hope for me? That is, will you marry me?
Martin, this is so sudden.
I know, but I've got to know now. You see, I need you. I love you. And I want to take care of you. Please say yes.
But Martin, give me some time.
But there is no time, Coretta. Here's a letter from the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. They have offered me the pastorate of their church. This is a great opportunity for us.
It's not that I don't love you, Martin, but I hate the South and its stale Jim Crow laws. I came from a little town named Marion, Alabama, and I never want to see Alabama again.
I know how you feel, Coretta, but those are the people that need us. I know what I'm asking. I'm asking you to give up the North and go to Montgomery, to the heart of the Confederacy, to a place where Negroes are faced daily with segregation and discrimination. The bus situation is probably the best example of all. Discourteous bus drivers calling out people undesirable names, passing them on street corners, refusing to make or give transfers, forcing them to pay fares at the front door while ordering them to board the bus by the rear door. They show no respect for our people.
Martin, since you know that, why do you want to go back?
Because that's where we're needed. Please marry me and let us go to Montgomery together. Please, Coretta.
If I would say yes, Martin, why couldn't we stay here in the North? I know things aren't all well in the North, but there are churches here, and you will find you are needed here. I feel as though I belong here, and I love it. I can go where I please. I can get on a bus and sit where I please. I can go to theaters, restaurants, and operas. There are no signs that say reserved for color. I feel like a real American, a real person, and I love it. Martin, with your ability, you are needed here.
I know how you feel, Coretta. I feel the same way, but I must go back to the South. I was born there. I have spent all of my life there. My ties are in the South. I know segregation is there, but I know also that there are Christians in the South, both white and black, and we'll work together to correct the evil.
If you aren't thinking of me, Martin, think of our children. I've often dreamed of being married and having children of my own. I don't want my children brought up in the South to have to face the problems that I had to face. I don't want my children to be held back because they are Negroes, nor constantly reminded of that fact. I want my children to be evaluated on their character and ability to produce and to achieve in any situation. Martin, if you really love me, stay here in the North.
Coretta, I love you more than you'll ever know. For the first time in my life, I understand how Robert E. Lee felt over 90 years ago when he made the decision to return to the South and fight for his homeland. As much as I love you, I can't stay here. I've got to go back to the South and fight against this thing that will eventually destroy America from within. But as much as I love you, I guess I'll have to give you up and return to the South alone. I guess this is goodbye, Coretta. Goodbye, Coretta.
Martin, I guess I'm crazy, but I know that I love you, and I will marry you and follow you to the heart of the Confederacy.
Thank you, Coretta. I shall make you very happy. I promise.
So it was that Reverend Martin Luther King Jr. and Coretta Scott were married and went to the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church in Montgomery, Alabama. There, he worked and put his theory into action. His influence spread throughout the entire city of Montgomery, and he studied the social as well as the religious conditions in the Montgomery Improvement Association. Through hard work, he obtained the nickname Brother President.
I don't know where everybody keeps looking at me. You out there, stop staring at me like you're crazy. I don't care what you say. I'm not gonna join in those marches. Do you think I'm crazy? I have my own business to protect, and my business is my job, and I have to pay my bills. Now suppose for 1 minute I did march and I lost my job. Then who's gonna pay my bills? Martin Luther King and Reverend Abernathy aren't. I've worked too hard and too long to get where I am. You can look at me if you want to. I'll give a donation. Here's $1. Here, take it, here. No, I better not. Because some of you people right up there will go and tell my boss that I've donated money to Martin Luther King. I'm not going to participate in those marches, and my children are not going to participate in those marches. I'm not going to have them going around messing up my name. My name means something in the white community. It's no use you calling my wife. She knows how hard we work to get where we are. Just stop talking about me. I value my life. Look what happened to Reverend Lee and Medgar Evers. Just get off my back. Just get off. Just get off. It is imperative that all people work together to achieve this freedom by 1960.
Who am I, you say? I am the Right Reverend Dr. Robert E. Conchenow, pastor of the Greater Shining Oak Church, located at 23rd and Tree Boulevard. You want me to do what? Now, brother, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going right back to the Greater Shining Oak Church. You want me to do what? Now, brother, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going right back to the Greater Shining Oak Church, located at 23rd and Tree Boulevard, and pray over this that you have asked me to do. And if the Lord tells me to march with you and Dr. King, I might march. But in the morning, when the march starts, if I'm not there, you'll understand that the Lord chose not to answer that prayer.
The ministers, more than anyone else, has the ear of the people. The ministers must be awakened to their responsibility.
I'm going to tell you right now, there's no use of you getting on that telephone wasting your time calling me. I don't believe in marching. I've got my meetings to go to. My sorority is having tea tomorrow, and I've got to figure out exactly what I'm going to wear. I'll probably end up going downtown, and you know how I am. I'll probably buy me a whole new outfit. Did you ask me if I'm boycotting? No, I'm not boycotting anybody or any store. I'm not picketing, and I'm sure not going to march wearing my shoes. You don't care about what I have. I do. I've worked hard for my degree. That's why I have so many fine things, and I intend to keep what I have. That's why I'm not marching.
I would help, Dr. King. But what would my friends say? Somebody's going to have to do something quick, and I mean quick.
Mr. Malcolm X, may I interview you?
Yes.
What is your opinion on nonviolence?
Nonviolence? You want my opinion on nonviolence?
Yes.
Every revolution that has ever occurred has been violent. The French Revolution, violent. The Chinese Revolution, violent. The American Revolution, violent. The Russian Revolution, violent.
Are you saying that you believe in violence?
I am saying that I've grown up in a violent country. White man created violence. Non-violence is a white man's planned method of genociding the black folks.
Do you believe that Dr. King has succeeded?
Yes, he has succeeded, all right. He succeeded in going to jail. He succeeded in getting spit on. He succeeded in getting his head beat. He's been very successful in getting people in trouble. Dr. King so had to tell him non-violence just doesn't work. Segregation is a way of life. That's the way it is.
What do you feel that the black people should do now?
First, the black people stop eating pork. Should stop begging and wallowing like hogs. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad has a plan, and the plan is complete segregation. There is no way, I mean no way, that blacks and whites can live together as brothers.
Black power! RBP! Black power! RBP! Black power! RBP! Black power! RBP! Black power! Man! Did you what that nigga asked us to do? That nigga asked us to pick it! Yeah, man, but you told him right. Yeah, man, I bet he would not forget that. Yeah, man, I'm not gonna take no more of this crowd. I should have done to me like I would do any other hoe. I should have bashed that nigga's face in. Yeah. I wonder, what's it gonna take for our people to realize? But first, we gotta kick their butt.
Yeah, man, I really like the look on that nigga's face when you told him what he could do with his picket sign.
Yeah, man, and he looked just like this.
Violence must be avoided at all costs.
All right, let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll never integrate. Never, never, never. Integration, no, no, no. Segregation, yes, yes, yes. Integrate with niggas. No, no. Integrate with niggas. No, no. KKK don't play. KKK don't play. KKK don't play.
Oh, why is there so much hatred in the world? Oh, why do so many people call other people bad names? Oh, why? Please tell me. I do not understand. I'm only 10 years old. Oh, why?
We don't understand it now, but we'll understand it better by and by.
It is now December 1955, and people from all walks of life are gathering in the Dexter Avenue Baptist Church to hear their new leader, Brother President. They're entering now, Reverend Abernathy, Brother President, and other ministers. They sing a song of old freedom, old freedom.
whatever we do be done for the glorification of thy Son. Amen. Christian friends, first I want to thank you who have gathered here tonight, especially the ministers of all faiths and denominations who have united behind this great leader. And tonight he comes to us as one of the great leaders of our time with a great deal of humility and gratitude to Almighty God. I present to you, Brother President, the Speaker of the Hour, Dr. Martin Luther King. Tonight, I come to you with a plan. And if you will follow this plan simultaneously, segregation will be eliminated in America by 1960. Here is the plan. First, resist the evil of segregation in a passive, non-violent spirit. We must refuse to cooperate with injustice. We shall not pay to be insulted. Segregation is an evil. It is contrary to the will of God. And when we support or submit to it, we are condoning an evil. Every man has a right and a personal responsibility to ignore certain local laws when they are contrary to the Constitution of the United States, no matter what the consequences are. Number two, use the weapon of love in our everyday relations. Violence must be avoided at all costs. We must not fight back, but resist peacefully, all in a spirit of love. I mean the highest form of love, that love that seeketh nothing in return. Number three, we must mobilize for an all-out fight for first-class citizenship. We must have leaders that live first-class citizenship as a symbol. We must have slogans, for we will have to make these rights simple and understandable so that they will filter into the hearts and minds of the people. Fourth, we must get out the vote. The chief weapon of the Negro is the ballot. None of these other privileges will mean anything unless we also get the power of the ballot. We must vote and teach our children to vote. Fifth, we must continue our legal legislative fight. We must continue our struggles in the courts. And above all things, we must remember the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People. We must ever keep in mind that our major victories have come through the work of this great organization. At the same time, we must support other organizations who are molding public opinion. Sixth, the church must be awakened to its responsibility. Religion is the chief avenue to the hearts and minds of the masses. The masses go to church, they listen to the minister. They have a great deal of respect for him. The minister, more than anyone else, has the ear of the people. The ministers, more than anyone else, have the ear of the people. The ministers must be awakened to their responsibility. For the individual Negro has to hold on to the one thing that has made him great, his spiritual genius. Seven, we between the classes and the masses. But we are laboring together to eliminate this existing evil. Therefore, it is imperative that all people, professional, ministers, laborers, and all citizens work together to achieve this freedom by 1960. Last but not least, we must be prepared. Whatever you choose for your life's work, do it well. We must prepare ourselves skillfully and intellectually to live in an integrated society. Whatever you as an American citizen choose for your life's work, do it well. Do not be content with the job half done. Do your job so well that all the hosts of heaven and earth will say, here lives the man that did his job as though God Almighty called him at this particular time in history to do it. Be not afraid, for God with us is more than all the world against us. And someday, yes, someday, we shall overcome.
It is December 5th, 1955. 50,000 Negroes are standing on bus stops, waiting as their forefathers on segregated buses. Now we move to a bus stop, where we see Mrs. Rosa Parks, a seamstress, waiting for a bus. Pays her fare and looks for a seat. She finds that all the seats are taken, except one, which is in the white section. To everyone's astonishment, Mrs. Parks takes that seat, as every American citizen should. The bus driver is astonished. He speaks.
Nigga, you in the wrong seat. Get back there and sit where you niggas belong.
I'm sorry, sir. I paid my fare and I'm not going to move.
You don't move this minute. What's wrong with you niggas anyway? You getting unruly sitting up here in the white section. Here comes a white man now. Now you get up and give him a seat.
I'd rather be arrested than to be moved.
All right, then you'll be arrested, by golly. You'll be arrested this minute. Police, police!
What seems to be the problem here, sir?
This nigga here is sitting in the white section and she won't get back to the back.
Ma'am, you know where you're supposed to go. Why don't you go back and sit where you belong? Ma'am, you know the law. Come on, you're going to jail!